Welcome to
Stays Krunchy and Milk.
Yes, it's Cleveland's longest running podcast and the place to hang with your internet besties. Got questions or comments? The email address for the show is podcast@stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Crunchy, of course, being spelled with a K.
Stays Krunchy.
You can also give us a call or message us at 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311.
Stays Krunchy.
We're available anywhere fine podcasts are, and of course at the website stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show wherever possible, like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. And now,
Stays Krunchy.
on with the show.
Krunchy. Stays Krunchy. Stays Krunchy. Stays Krunchy.
Out of the blue, the
Stays
school's
Krunchy.
called was like, nah, don't come
Stays
here tomorrow.
Krunchy.
Which is the wildest shit to me, because I'm like, y'all, you have no idea. Yes, it could be terrible tomorrow, but come on, man. We wait till we got there before we close schools. What's
It could be bad tomorrow back in the day, and I'd still have to go to school.
I don't know, man. I never really I never had much of those you got to go on a terrible day situations. They was pretty good about shutting them down. But that's because, of course, I was bused. You know what I'm saying? I when I went to school here, it was during the busing time. When I went to school in Atlanta, it only snowed once. I'm going to say 93, and it was the worst snow I ever had in my entire life. And it was in Atlanta. Snow was up to my like almost my thighs. It was crazy. It was crazy out.
I think this is like becoming one of those things where it's like people who played in the NBA in the 70s only made like $250,000 a year, and now we're in the 2000s, and like motherfuckers are making like $50K a year, and then like the old timers look at them like, back in my day, we didn't get that kind of money, bro. These kids today, now we're looking at it like these motherfuckers getting out of school the day before it even snows. Back in my day, we had to walk to school in 3 feet of snow, and I'm just like, I'm bitter and I'm jealous, but I should also be thankful that like they're being smarter about it. But I'm still gonna be a little like jealous and bitter. I try to like I try to do duality with it. Like I can be bitter and jealous and upset, but also happy for them at the same time.
Well, for me, it's more like, do we not just wait? Do we not before we make that call? It seems like early to make that call.
I guess especially with the unpredictability of actual weather forecasts most of the time.
Yeah.
But like my brother texted me and said that they canceled school tomorrow, so he only went to school one day this week.
Nice. They canceled the day before yesterday for wind chill, and then of course, like I said, tomorrow for impending snow. So they're supposed to arrive here at 11, potentially.
So they canceled. So Monday was King Day. Tuesday they went back to school, which it was only 10 degrees that day. But then they said the wind chill factor was supposed to keep them out on Wednesday, but Wednesday ended up being 10 degrees warmer than Tuesday. So, but then like I got a Richmond High School. But yeah, the school called around 11 p.m. and then they canceled it. Like my mother was like, you should keep the boys home tomorrow. It's supposed to be real cold. I'm like, it was cold yesterday. They ain't gonna close the school, and then they did.
Well, sure, but it ain't like your kids walking to school.
They don't walk to school. They don't walk the school up. They walk maybe 50 feet. And yes, sometimes it might be a dangerous 50 feet because they don't always shovel it. Most times they have it together. Because my kids be fucking around all morning and they are always late to school. And
I don't want to make it sound like I don't want to be the crotchety old man, but like, are we maybe at times getting a little too soft? Like, if the kids came and waited at the bus stop for 10 minutes, like, because it's too cold, then where are we going? Like, what? Like,
I feel like it's better education. We know better now. We know skin can freeze in real quick, like in quick happening. You know what I'm saying? And
especially
so forth.
Little fingers.
And, yeah, because they just don't be trying. They be like, I'm taking my gloves off. You never know.
Yes.
Kids is wild.
Yeah.
And so I feel like we're smarter now. Science is real, and we know to do better. I just, like I said, I'm just kind of like, I mean, yeah, I guess it could be snowing when I wake up in the morning, but it could be just as easily not at all, because that's just how weather functions. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? The
like
wind could just
here's the
wind.
thing about all that though, and like I hear you and I get that, but like, aren't those lessons supposed to prepare you for the future? Because like, when you become an adult, you don't get to stay home because it's 10 degrees outside. Like, you still gotta throw your winter clothes on. You like, it's part of why I feel like I failed when I went to college, because like I didn't have to spend my earlier years before that learning how to study, like learning how to buckle down and like put effort in. Like, when it didn't come easy, I failed. So then it's like we have all these kids and like they don't learn at a younger age what it's like to have to be outside for 10 minutes in the cold waiting on a school bus, or like what it will be like having to park away from work and then walk up to work in when it's like 0 degrees outside. It's like shit becomes like a culture shock, and it's hard to deal with because you have people like soft shoe you through it the whole way through, that when you actually got to face it, it's like, are you prepared for that kind of shit? And like maybe some of them will be. That's all I'm wondering. It's like, I want kids to be safe and shit. I'm not saying like they should be like, it should be like a blizzard outside and they can't see and -30, we should throw them out there. But like if it's 10, you're trying to tell me they don't have winter coats, hats, and gloves, and boots and shit, and like
Some don't. Like what I learned recently is, like, yes, me and my partner do okay. But then I see some of them other kids at school, and I'm like, oh, I might live in a suburb, but everybody don't live in the nice part of my suburb. And it's like there are so many different resources for the kids. Like, hey, some kids don't have a coat here still, and some kids don't have boots, and some kids don't get to eat unless they come to school here. And I'm like, at
but now they
first,
can't eat because you closed school.
no. Usually what they'll do is they have the program where like, hey, we'll set you up. We'll set you up with lunch. Somebody's got to come pick it up, or some of the teachers that might care might drop it off, because like the whole summer, that's all they talked about. Like, and during like the pandemic, like, hey, come get a hot meal. Still, we'll bring you a hot meal. Like, it's
What I was going to say is, I find that mindset that you have, Box, fascinating, because Vanessa has a similar mindset, and I don't. And I don't know if them 10 years make a difference, but apparently they do. I don't fuck with that whole, like, we're preparing them for something. It's like, man, life is tough as it is. They will be prepared plenty by a lot of things. I just don't. And it's like it's interesting to me that that's not how you approach it per se, but that's where your mind immediately takes you to, man. Like, these motherfuckers gonna be soft. It's like, nah, it's enough bullshit in this world to make them otherwise hard, and them not knowing until it happens how cold can be. Well, I mean, I've been putting you in coats for your whole life. I've been telling you it's cold for a reason. You'll know. You'll just experience it differently. And you'll be like, oh yeah, okay, so that's what my old man was talking about. Oh, that's what my mama was talking about. So on and so on. So it's not like I don't feel you will be lesser prepared for it. You just will experience it later, and that's fine.
I feel like some lessons though you only learn by actually going through it. Like, someone could tell you what everything until they're blue in the face, but like until you actually go through it yourself, it's almost like the words just fall on deaf ears. Because like I've gone through shit like that where, like, my dad was talking to me about like how hard the world is with, like, the economy and how fucked up things are, like for my whole life. And until I got into my late 30s and I deal with like the job market and the raising cost of goods and all this shit, it's like now I hear him. But like he's been saying it
you
for years.
understand them now.
It's like I get it now, but like he told me this for all this my whole life, and like I didn't really believe him, or like not that I didn't believe him, but I didn't fully comprehend it until I'm in the shit,
Interesting.
And and I'm not trying to like say that like I think everybody's soft and all that. I'm just saying I know that me personally, by not learning how to handle certain things a certain way when I was younger, it made it harder for me down the line. And so it's like I just hope that people wouldn't repeat my mistakes. Is all I'm trying to say.
For me, it's the opposite of that. I was kind of very wise, so when I got to these times, my times in life, I was fully prepared, and I've tried to adhere to a lot of the lessons my mother has taught me in how I have raised my kids. So hopefully they are, readily prepared. Like I said, both of them was out yesterday it was the day before when they had no school. Yeah, they had school today and didn't have school yesterday. So Lee didn't have school yesterday and was like, "Oh, we all gonna go meet up at Panera." So it's not like they went out in this cold. They just didn't have to go to school. Again, it's like I feel like the lesson per se is certainly being taught. We get told oftentimes you ain't learning. It's like I'm learning how I'm learning. Might not be how you wanted me to learn. It might be not as direct in education as one would have hoped, but I learned how I learned. And so I never really roll with that. They need to learn this type of, they'll learn how they learn. And that lesson will come when it comes, how it comes. And I can't do shit about it. So I think we're on the same page, actually. We just are like, you would like them to not, and same for me, I would like them to not have to learn hard lessons. Can't do shit about that. They're going to learn them lessons the hard way or not. Some might take it the soft way. Some will not. And this is what it is, man. People absorb it how they will. I just think it's weird. Again, my whole point being, it ain't snowed yet. We have no idea how much snow will be around here. Not going to be, it could be, no doubt, it could be, the one. But it could also just miss us completely, which happens oftentimes. And if it does snow tomorrow and it's like tons of feet of snow on the ground, good call.
Maybe this is more for the parents so that they can make arrangements. Because, I remember, I remember being a kid and getting up and, because if you got to arrange daycare or, shit, like whatever, all that kind of stuff. Because I remember being a kid and waking up 20 minutes before I would normally wake up to watch the little scroller on the news to see if our school district was on there or not. Our school, school didn't fucking call my house and be like, "Don't come." We had to watch Channel 8 and just watch. Oh, fuck. It's like watching the TV Guide channel. Oh, fuck. You walk out of the room for 1 second, you miss it. So now you gotta sit there and watch the whole scroller again until it gets back to the C's.
You gotta change the channel. You gotta check with Channel 5 now.
They call me, they text me, they email me, and then they do the same thing to Vanessa. So ain't nobody not aware it went down.
Well, but remember when we were kids, we didn't have text.
Oh, for sure.
And email and shit.
I dig it. I like that we have such a system in place that it's like when it goes down, we all gonna know.
It was kind of like opening gifts, you didn't know what you were gonna get. You sit there, you're like, "Oh man, we getting a gift or we getting coal?"
Yeah.
It's funny.
I remember, man, the one year it was the late '90s, and we had that 2 weeks where we went to school twice out of 2 weeks because the snow was so bad. I remember we went to school on a Friday. We were out of school Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We went to school on a Friday, and our teacher's like, "Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna see you guys for another week based on the forecast." And then we literally didn't go to school for another week after that. It was almost, and we had just come off of Christmas break too, so it was almost like we weren't in school for an entire month.
I remember when that would happen. They sometimes give you some extra days at the back end.
They would always fucking and say that shit, threaten us with that shit, but they would never follow through with it.
Hey, it's wild out here, man.
I do remember them promising that and it coming to true because I've only been to but that might have been also a school strike. But I went to school 1 year on my birthday, and my birthday is on the 13th of June. So, it was
normal for us.
Oh,
but shit, it seems like kids got out in May now and shit.
They do.
Yeah. So when I lived in Tennessee, we got out in May, but went back in August, early August. And when I got up here, we went back after Labor Day.
Yeah, it was usually it was either that last week of August, we went to school for a couple of days, then we were out for a couple of days because that first week of September, And then it would we'll be out, and then
And then
school.
we officially get rolling that second week in November.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I mean September. Forgive me.
But then I do remember like Labor Day. It was like that was the end of school. Usually that's when it would end.
Okay. Fascinating. Yeah. So it's always weird to me how I don't know, the time flows and goes and so forth. Because, like I said, the kids now, they start back in, the kid starts in August and gets out usually late May, the very, very early June. So, I don't know. Ohio's weird, and we done had some interesting politics change the way we do things, education wise. So, I can never call it. And I don't. But as you hear this, who knows? By the time you hear this, we could have been snowed in, or not a damn thing happened, and we'll let you know either way next week.
Drink your water.
Let's get the party started. Double check, make sure I'm recording. I am. All right. I start a small time dope gang cocaine. Pushing rocks on the block, I'm never broke, man. Sporting jewelry and that shit that came with Rolling Hall. You try to school me, you'll get served with no regard. Boy, don't test me because I'm tired of teaching lessons. So motherfuck you and that bullshit you stressing. Because it ain't nothing but the money flow in this camp. And if you short me, you'll forever wear a stamp. So watch your back and prepare for the hit, man. Black for black and Diac will take no shit, and you'll be bumped up, bumped off, no trace. On the Forilla, my nigga, just call me Scarface. Hello and welcome to it. It's episode 524. Sorry, I had to double check that. And ain't no timing out going on around. Yeah, I am the Internet's Table 713. Joined as always by my best friends. It's the 216's own Tatum.
Yes.
And of course, back after a quick little week off. It's the Big Homie Lunchbox 20. No.
I did take the week off last week, didn't I? Man, time flies.
Nick Ju came and stepped in for you, so it's all to the good, big baby.
I'm sure my father appreciates it.
How was your folks' birthday OG celebration?
So, if we want to just get into it here, we can make this what my segment or whatever, rearranged, remix. So here's an issue I have when it comes to my parents and me saying that I want to take them to dinner. It's actually a couple things. One, when I say that, while I do like spending time with my family, there are times when I say, hey, I want to take you guys to dinner, when I mean only my parents. I don't mean my parents and my sisters and my brother and my brother-in-law. Like, I want to go have dinner with my mom and my dad.
Yeah.
Not the entire family. So, it is what it is, I guess. Like, they were already planning the dinner. Like my stepmom texted me that it was my dad's birthday, which, I knew, I was going to reach out. And I'd already planned to talk to them about taking them both out to dinner. One, because, they're older and, what am I really going to get them for their birthday? Oh, here's some socks. We just had Christmas, 2 weeks ago or whatever it was. There's not really much, that they're, in need of. So I missed my stepmom's birthday because I had COVID when, her birthday was around. So it's I couldn't really do anything then. And then, obviously, my dad's birthday was last week. So I was like, I can just hit a twofer. I can make up for missing, the prior month with COVID, and I can, get my dad so we can knock this out. So, when she texted me that, I was like, I know, I was planning on asking you guys if you want to go to dinner. I was thinking about asking if they want to go to dinner on Sunday. And then she goes, oh, well, we're all getting together to go to dinner tonight. Your sister wants to go to Olive Garden. I'm like, Olive Garden? I'm like, what the fuck?
When you hear your family.
Olive Garden would have been, amazing in my mind when I was, in my 20s. But now Olive Garden is we can't do better than this? Really? I'm like, I was thinking about something, not where we have to dress up, but, maybe something where, they expect you to at least have on jeans. Like, but whatever, I'm not gonna. It's not my birthday. I'm not gonna rock the boat. You guys have clearly already been talking about this, and I'm the last to know as always. So here we are. So I was like, yeah, that's when I talked to you guys, and got the clearance to miss last week. So thank you for covering for me, Nick. I appreciate it. So yeah, I don't live that far from my parents. Like, I don't live far from like anyone. Like, my sister lives on the same street as my parents. My other sister lives like 2 miles or so in the other direction. Like, but we all kind of live in the proximity of Olive Garden.
Yeah.
So I could have just went to Olive Garden, but I was told to meet at my dad's house at 6, and I'm like, okay, thinking we're all going to convene here, maybe have like a little chit chat or something, and then I'll go to Olive Garden. But no, my sister and my future brother-in-law just went to Olive Garden, and then like I got to my dad's house, and they were all just watching Netflix, and then we were late because they were watching Netflix. But I'm like, why did I have to come straight here? Why couldn't I have just met everybody at Olive Garden? The whole thing was confusing to me.
Yeah.
So, that aside, we get to Olive Garden, and like, we're talking and we order and everything. And like, that's all fine. My issue comes one at the end of the meal for this. Like, the food itself, I've never really thought of myself as like a food snob or anything like that, and like I was always fine with like chain restaurants. The only chain restaurant that I ever really never liked was Macaroni Grill.
Oh, okay.
Like and I guess Buca de Beppo to a degree, but like Macaroni Grill is like one place that I've been a couple times and I've never really enjoyed it. So like Olive Garden, I was always like, oh, Olive Garden's pretty all right. Like, I like it. And then I had it this time, and I'm like, God, Olive Garden sucks. It's the first time in my life where like I ate the fettuccine Alfredo, and I'm like, this tastes like water. Like it's fucking bland. Like nothing sticks to the noodles. Like there's just nothing enjoyable about it. Like I split my salad. Like my sister got like soup instead of salad, and like I got a salad, so I got that big ass bowl of salad. And then I played myself because I forgot to take the olive out, and so she got my olive, which I was mad at myself for. I played myself on that, and and then like the breadsticks, like they're just like, they're just if they were like they're like McDonald's fries. You got to eat them bitches while they're hot, because if you eat them once they cool down, they're fucking disgusting. Because like at that point, whatever oil they're cooking them in starts to like harden up, and then they're just not enjoyable. And yeah, it was the most like lifeless pasta I'd ever had that I can remember. And like it may have been like that all these years, and just because like I never had good food, I was none the wiser. But now like my eyes were fucking open, and I was like, this is trash. But whatever, I'm not gonna sit there and say that while we're out celebrating my parents' birthday, specifically my dad on this night. But for me, it was also for my stepmom.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I just sat there and I just kept my mouth shut, because old me, when I was younger, this is a lesson I had to learn, like we talked about in the pre-show.
The lessons.
I had to learn a lesson that like sometimes you gotta keep your negative opinions to yourself, because people don't want to hear that shit, especially at special occasions, because it brings the mood down. So I kept that shit internalized about how shitty that food was. The only speck that I let it slip out is when I texted you guys, because like I had to say to somebody in some fashion.
We kind of talked about it just a little bit in the show last week, because I had recently been to Olive Garden with Xander for his birthday, because that's where he wanted to go for his birthday. So I have had the Olive Garden experience. Funnily enough, you said your Olive Garden was tasteless. Mine was overly salted, not seasoned, overly salted. So I had a salty Olive Garden go around. I was like, what the fuck is all this salt going on, man? So it's wild to me how, well, we both have OG, but two different types of OG. And my guy, we have, I know for at least the past, I'm going to go with 7 years, and that's me guessing. We have been eating like fucking kings when we go to eat. anywhere around the world at this point where we have traveled. Yes, you're a food snob. We built that shit. We know.
Well,
we
when I
wouldn't eat
said
bullshit. We wouldn't eat bullshit just on our lunches. We wouldn't be going to eat at where everybody else is trying to go eat at. We
what I
ate
mean
at the
by
nicer
that though
spot.
is like I can eat at like a quote unquote lowbrow place and like be okay with it. Like I can eat it like like I can go to Marble Room downtown and pay $200 for a steak dinner and thoroughly enjoy it. And I could go eat at the fucking ghetto Charlie's with like rats out by the dumpster and not bat an eye. As long as the food's like edible at both places, I can survive. But like this was like I had to put so much fucking pepper. I grabbed the pepper grinder and I coated that bitch to the point where like it looked like a leopard. All the black spots all over that thing. And I could not resuscitate it. I didn't even want to finish it.
How has your taste been since COVID? Are you tasting everything okay?
Yeah, I never really felt like I lost anything when it came to that kind of stuff. Good. Like I feel fully recovered from COVID now. Like I don't have that same like fatigue and tiredness that I had like those couple weeks after.
Yeah.
I'm not coughing anymore. I'm not like I have a sore throat right now, but that could just be because the heat's been running in the house like basically nonstop for the last couple days. So it's probably just dry in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, yeah, like I'm 100% over COVID as far as I can tell.
Well,
but
that being said, it's just tasteless food.
Yeah, it was so bland. Like,
what'd you order?
I had we had breadsticks at the table. I got the salad. Then I had the chicken fettuccine Alfredo. And this was another thing too. Was I had to learn. I learned a lesson this night, and it was thanks to my sister and my brother. Going to Olive Garden, I'm mentally pre-programmed to think that like I have to get a pasta dish or like like a lasagna, like a parm, or like chicken fettuccine Alfredo was always my go-to, right?
Yeah.
But when you look on the menu, like how many calories are in like one like bowl of that, like one you get basically 2 to 3 times what you should be eating in one meal at a restaurant. But they had a like 6-ounce steak and like broccoli on the menu with like onions and mushrooms or something.
Yeah.
And I thought about getting that because it was like half, if not less than half of what the chicken fettuccine Alfredo's calories were. But I talked myself out of it for 2 reasons. One, like I said, I was pre-programmed to get a pasta dish at Olive Garden. 2, I thought to myself, who the fuck goes to Olive Garden and orders steak? I was like, this can't possibly be good. Just go with the fettuccine Alfredo. And I wish I had just stuck to my guns and gone with the steak. Not because my sister and my brother said that the steak was like amazing or anything like that. It looked fine.
Yeah.
But more for the fact of like, I have to come to terms and remember that like what I eat is beneficial to me and no one else. And so when I make decisions like that, if I make a poor decision, the only person that gets hurt is me. And so
the adage is, what I eat don't make you shit. And so you are correct. It is nothing you are doing but to yourself. And that's a lesson learned. But also, never go to Olive Garden again.
Yeah, like Olive Garden is a place that my partner loves to go to. And I don't. But my go-to order from there is usually the eggplant parm, and I'll go tomato sauce on my actual parm of eggplant, and then on whatever pasta I get the Alfredo so I can mix it because the tomatoes seem to be too acidic, and the fettuccine sauce seems to be a little bland, but you mix them together, it's okay. And then like you gotta go in there like a fucking surgeon when you're there. You be like, hey, I want this and this like this and this like this because
I just ordered chicken parm again. It was fine. It was salty. How funny! I was just watching Mythicals from yesterday when they were doing kids menus,
Mm-hmm.
and the Olive Garden kids menu. They seem to get the most substantial amount of food, but it looked like a normal size. It looked like a normal serving of food, as opposed to what they normally. I know they be on that. We're feeding you family style. It's like, don't feed me family style, my guy. Give me a human size serving so I can maybe not be going home at Olive Garden because I never finish it there ever. I've been and in the times I've been to Olive Garden, I never finish my plate when I'm there. It's entirely too much food. It's dope because you got leftovers for the next day. If you're into leftovers, and I dig leftovers, but it's not if you not and you ain't trying to be bothered taking shit home. You know.
Yeah, I like the idea of it. Like I like that. Like they're like, hey, you can buy this, and also for $5, take some home too. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
If I like this will be dope. But I think overall, there's been like a change to the whole industry, and no matter what, I haven't had a good experience going out to eat in years at this point.
Since pandemic?
Yeah, since the pandemic, I don't think I've had an experience. I'm like, hell yeah, like getting like really like one time. BW3 was back in my good graces. We had ordered from there. Everything was sauce right. Everything was at a good temperature. And we get home and it was still like pretty good. It's like BW3 might be back. We went back. It was just the same old shitty BW3. Like I like Wingstop, but I'm so tired of them not having stuff right. I'm tired of going to Popeyes and shit ain't being right. Like I went to Popeyes not too long ago, and they had forgot some stuff. So I went. I could, and the line was so long I couldn't go get back in line. I just couldn't. So I went inside, and like I'm waiting on the stuff, and I'm waiting for a pretty long time. And this lady who's in a uniform gets up and say, "Ladies and gentlemen, I will be the co-manager of this restaurant in 2 weeks. And I promise you, this won't happen on my watch." I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? First of all, if you're going to be a co-manager in 2 weeks, your punk ass should be there right now being like, hey, I'm sacrificing this leadership. I might not be on the clock right now, but y'all in fucking trouble. Let me help. Like, that's your poor leadership. I don't want your food neither for you there. But it was just like I felt like I was on a fucking hidden camera show. The way it was just, that night was just so funny. So this one lady, not the lady who was a manager, a lady that was just like the self-appointed mayor of Popeyes, was like, "Hey, did you get your food? Did you get yours? Did you get yours?" And I'm just like, I don't like really communicating with those type of people. Like I was just trying not to make eye contact with her because she was just like, "How long you've been waiting here for a while too? What did you have?" She was so bad that when another gentleman's food came out, that the manager or the worker handed her the food, and she said, "No, that's not mine. That's his." And I could just look on the dude's face, the worker's face, like, "Then why the fuck are you grandstanding right here? Let me give him his food."
So my Olive Garden experience was lovely. We went in there prepared to buy their cheese grater. Because apparently they sell them. So first thing we do when we sit down is ask the lady, "Hey, can we buy one of those cheese graters? Apparently y'all sell them." And she goes, "I heard that too. I'll check." And by the time it comes around, she goes, "My manager says we can't sell them." But mysteriously, just one appeared right on the ledge next to our table and she just disappeared. So I just was like, "I see what you're doing, lady." Because Vanessa, tips well, you know what I'm saying? And so Vanessa paid to take Xander because she said she would. And so I just put the cheese grater in my hat.
Oh, nothing under my sleeve.
And left, because I know old girl left it there for us. I know she did. And
was it a new
like,
one
"Let me
or
take
old
this." It was the one she used right then and there, so it's as clean as it's gonna get. And of course, I just threw it in the dishwasher when we got home and kept it moving. But he loves it. He uses it every time he cooks now. You know what I'm saying? Just grinding away. And I'm like, "Hey man, fuck it. I love it. If you like it, I love it, big baby." So like I said, that was a good experience. It was a real good time in that regard. In the realm of I guess Italian food, this show is going to be a little different than normal. We're not going to do no news this weekend. As you can see, we just kind of binging all off the place because we ain't got to hang out and chat in a little bit. So it's a lot of catching up each other. Vanessa's birthday was this past Saturday. And early in the month or late last month, she had saw a cake on Instagram, was like, yo, I love them. I want this cake. And I was like, nope, took that note. Emailed the lady who was like, hey, I would like, I'm fucking with these cakes. What's the word? Do you ship? And if no worries if you don't, I will gladly come get that motherfucker. She's like, no, they're far too ginger to be shipped, but people come and get them shits all the time. I'm like, I got you. I'm gonna do that. And I was prepared, to go collect that cake that following week. But then she hit me with a bill like the next day, and I go, that makes sense. I probably should have it to pay for this cake. And I'm like, hey, I don't got cake paying money right now. My apologies. I'm going to cancel this order. I'll get it next time. And she's like, nah, you good, man. You coming all this way? Pay me when you come through, or just pay me before you come through. That way, you know what I'm saying, we settled up. And I'm like, I will pay you as soon as I wake up, payday. You know what I'm saying? I literally did that. Well, first thing I did when I woke up payday morning was roll over and hit that Apple Pay and send that lady some dough. And so that means I drove last windy Saturday, because it was very windy that Saturday, out to Toledo to go snag this cake. And if you've been on my social media, if you are down with my social media, which we'll also have to address, won't we? I got that cake. It's gluten-free, but it's absolutely gorgeous. Vanessa was so happy to have that cake for her birthday cake, and it's so lovely. But if I'm out that way, you know what I'm saying, where I got to pass on the way home, and what is that, my guys? I got to go to some. I'm going to some Fazoli's, man. If I'm going past Sandusky, so I slide through to Fazoli's. And y'all been in here, y'all been with me on one of these before, so y'all know what it is to walk in there and be like, I would like this many breadsticks. And they sit there like, I'm sorry, what? And I'm like, let me get you right. What's a bag of breadsticks? X. I want 8 of those. What? Lady cash register says, starts ringing it up. She starts typing it up. Somebody open them sides, sees it start tinging on picking on the ticker, and comes over to me. Are you serious? Somebody comes out of a door that's behind the cash register, pops his head out like, are you serious? And then somebody in the back yell, are you for real? And I love every bit of it. I love walking up in Fazoli's and buying them bitches out of bread because they don't be believing it. And I'm like, yes, I'm going to buy that bread. I'm not out here often. I buy it. I put some in the freezer, some in my freezer right now. You know what I'm saying? We'll eat some bread. It'll be great. It's lovely. They still make a good product in bread wise, so I'm glad I did it. But man, that was a trip, and I loved every bit of it. I don't know. It's not like I might like making somebody's day hard because there was actually one lady who has to pack all the bread, which is some bullshit. Because somebody should have just helped her out. You know what I'm saying? But I do like that I had 4 people asking, are you serious? I'm like, yes, give me the goddamn bread.
One of the great things about Fazoli's is that bread, and you can't say this about every breadstick, those breadsticks warm up nice. Like, they're so tender that, like, I do a technique where I wrap it in the parchment paper, then the foil, and it warms up super nice. Like, because there's one in
Canton, right? Yeah.
And I was just like, am I going to be able to swing a Fazoli's trip over this way?
Hey, I love it. I absolutely love it. And it's just a good time. I stopped by that Meyer out there. It's where I got that Buddy's pizza from.
Okay.
If you are a Detroit head or a fan of Buddy's Pizza because you've been to Detroit, if you have a Meyer around your neck of the woods, you might be able to get Buddy's from the pizza cooler there, from the frozen pizza section, and it's not as good as restaurant fresh Buddy's, but it's the damn best frozen pizza I've ever had in my life. That crust is it was very like buttery, had a real good crisp to it. I cooked it longer than what they recommended, and I think I cooked it right because they was like 23 minutes, and I probably went. Like I said, I had messaged y'all like 118, and I looked and I was like, I took it out the oven at like 2 something, so it definitely went for a while. But also they tell you to put it in a cold oven.
Okay,
they say don't preheat the oven. They say put it in a cold oven. So maybe doing that gave me some time, you know what I'm saying? Because they had to heat up first and then cook through. So I would, like I said, highly recommend. And I would tell you to cook that bitch longer than the box tell you. So
yeah,
but it was very, very tasty.
I do like. It's another brand that it's might be like on the like stealing Buddy Shine a little bit.
Yeah. Is it Motor City?
Yeah, the
pizza
Motor City pizza.
Something? Yeah.
Like, I've never had the pizza proper, but I had them goddamn breadsticks. Hands down, best frozen breadsticks I ever had. Like, store-bought frozen.
Nice.
Man, I remember for a while, like, until, like, we, like, just ate it too much, that it was just like, hey, we got some more of that in the freezer? Because at Costco, you get 2 pizzas in a box. So we had bought a few of them, and we was just like, with no more garlic and butter and cheese, because we had just ate it for a while. But when I was at Costco just the other day, I was like, I had walked past it. I'm like, maybe, but not tonight.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to peek over the ESPN to see if what was popping tonight in the realm of
football.
Hoops.
Oh, hoops.
And I see that a player in Miami has been given a 9th year of eligibility. 9. I think you should have graduated by now. You should be a doctor if you've been in school that long.
So what did he? Did he give extra COVID years or something like that?
Miami tight end Cam McCormick confirmed Thursday he'll be returning to play for the Hurricanes in 2024, his 9th season of college football. McCormick, who began his career at Oregon in 2016, missed significant parts of 4 different seasons due to injury, which, along with his redshirt year and the COVID year of 2020, allowed him to petition the NCAA for an unprecedented 9th season of eligibility. McCormick announced his return on X, formerly Twitter, on Thursday with the tagline, "The pursuit of excellence has no goal line," calling 2024 his last ride. Yeah. You
keep rolling.
McCormick, 25, was originally a 3-star prospect out of Bend, Oregon. He was part of a 2016 signing class at Oregon that included QB Justin Herbert and national class that included Nick Bosa, Ed Oliver, Rashawn Gary, and Jalen Hurts, all now established NFL veterans. McCormick redshirted as a true freshman in 2016, then played in 13 games as a reserve in 2017. Then came a string of injuries, a broken leg in 2018, followed by complications that cost him 2019 and 2020, followed by a foot injury 2 weeks into the 2021 season. He was granted a 6th year of eligibility in 2019, then had another added in 2020 when the NCAA gave an extra season to all FBS players. In 2022, McCormick finally was able to play a full season, earning the Capital One Orange Bowl FWAA Courage Award for his perseverance, appearing in 13 games and making 6 starts. He was granted 8th and 9th years of eligibility ahead of 2023 before transferring to Miami, where he was reunited with coach Mario Cristobal, and he caught 8 balls for 62 yards for the Hurricanes last season, and he had to resubmit his waiver to the ACC for his 9th year this offseason. Baby, is he even still in school?
Maybe.
What are his studies? I need to know a lot. Also, you'll never play in the league. You'll never play NFL football. You will have played 9 years of college ball and never saw. I guess you can get some NIL money, right? So you can get a little dough. That's wild.
Maybe he is. One of these special guys out here that's still like learning something, and maybe he'll come out with a doctorate. Who knows?
I hope the fuck so.
Yeah, 'cause my nephew was about to finish up his master's real quick because, like, I know, people always say this about, their family and shit like that, but that guy's special. My nephew, is one of the smartest people I know, and it was always like be able to buckle down and not have to study a lot and get everything real quick. And like he graduated last summer and is about to graduate again in a few months. So with his master's. What
Your patron, you've heard him on our show before.
Yeah,
at Buddy's Pizza.
Yeah, at Buddy's Pizza. While playing football and everything. So yeah, it's pretty amazing.
So I had one more thing about the whole Olive Garden thing that I never got to.
Okay.
Get on in here, man.
So one of the things about that like irritated me to a degree, and maybe I shouldn't be irritated about it. Maybe I'm bugging. So I guess you guys can give me some insight on this. So I told my parents that I was going to take them out to dinner. Obviously, like that ended up being the Olive Garden, but I was still paying for them for dinner. In my mind, because I said, "Hey, I'm taking you to dinner," I'm paying for dinner, and I'm paying for the tip. They insisted on covering the tip, even though I wanted to.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I put $40 cash on the table because I was paying the tip for the whole table.
Yeah.
My family, my siblings included, who I wasn't paying for their meal. But I was trying to pay for the meal for me, my dad, and my mom, and then also pay the tip. And they refused, and they gave me my money back, like for the tip. It kind of irritated me because I was very adamant that I wanted to pay the tip, and they still wouldn't let me.
So they didn't short the person, did they?
No.
Okay.
They didn't short the person. They just would not let me pay for the tip in addition to the actual food.
I feel like you gotta relax a little bit, baby.
I mean, that's how they wanted to do a solid for you, even though you wanted to take them and wanted to celebrate them and make sure they were taken care of. They still your parents. They still gonna have the notion that you are to be taken care of because you're their kid. Just happens, man, to the best of us. And on the low, just tap the server on your way out and like get that handshake and just slip in that cash and keep it moving, man.
Or take
give them an extra good tip. So,
or take the little kiosk off the table and go on and put everything in before they.
I don't know. Well, see, that's the thing about the kiosk thing. We were splitting all the checks up.
Yeah,
the kiosk was getting passed all around. It wasn't one check,
okay.
So it was a little harder to pull that off. But also, I wasn't going to slide the waitress extra tip money. That was not an extra tip money meal. Like, she got an adequate tip. She wasn't getting an extra adequate tip.
Then as is. Then it played out as it was supposed to, and no other way could have happened. So that's what it is, man. So, oh man, that's the joy. But yeah, next year, maybe we not we as in whatever, you know what I mean, the royal we plan a little bit in advance. You say, I am personally, me and you too will be going to go eat somewheres for this birthday situation. I go, we might do something family wise for to celebrate your birthday, but I would like to take you out, just you two, somewhere nice and take care of business. And I'll be covering the tip. Let's have that established now. And you just keep it motherfucking moving, man. You do as best you can. As sometimes, man, we are still the kids of these people, and we have to accept it. And so I have to chuckle at that. So, folks be folking, man. Hey, man, what's the good word, bro? What's been going on with you?
Well, two things. I took the extra Tuesday, the extra day after Tuesday off to try to do something I haven't done in a long time. Even though this weekend I did it twice, well Tuesday and over the weekend I went to the movies.
Nice.
I went to go see American Fiction on Saturday. Just me and my lady. The boys didn't come to that. They were at grandma's house. I haven't seen my mother since my partner's birthday, which is Christmas Eve. And so they got a chance to spend some time with her. And we went to the movies and out to dinner. Just I'll start with the dinner. It was a new place that wasn't that great. Like, man, I'm honestly like, I don't know if I'm just getting to my old man fuck it age, but I'm just like, I don't want to go to dinner no more. I don't want to do that. I just want to cook at home and have some sparkling water and just chill. So like I said, we went to go see American Fiction, which was everything you want in a modern movie. It was a little sad, a little happy, really funny. And like you never seen what was coming next in the movie. It was a really good movie. Best movie I've seen in a long time. So it was just as good as the Holdovers, if not better.
Dig.
So then what else did we do? Like I tried to plan some more. So I'm like, hey, we go this time at this time, and we can do this and this. But we just pretty much just called it a night. You know, went to go pick up the boys the next day. My mother was like, I thought they was gonna stay another day. It's like, no, they can come home and you can rest. So then we were oh man, so everybody was not off on Monday. My partner's job does not give them MLK Day.
Okay.
And so me and the boys were in the basement, watching TV, playing games and shit. Then they went back to school on Tuesday. And like I hit the ground running. I got me some breakfast, put it in my coat pocket. Went to the movies. I still order popcorn, but you know, I went to go see this movie called The Beekeeper. Man.
Okay.
It was a fun thrill ride. It wasn't like, oh man, it wasn't like it was unpredictable and I didn't know it was coming. Jason Statham is gonna punch you, he's gonna hit you. In this particular, until like it got like to the third act, he really ain't fuck with guns. Every time a gun came at him, like he would do that shit where he take it, you know, he cock it back, drop it off, and like, you know, that cool ass dismemberment of the gun. He do that like 4 or 5 times, and then it's this one like it was decent. Like it was this one scene where he like gets to the president and he about to go fuck some people up. It's like just a 7-minute hallway fighting scene, just like stabbing and he only get hurt once. He get a little cut on his arm right here. Then he tied the belt on it real tight, and he kept on fighting. And that's the only time he got hurt.
Would you have ever thought the guy who was in Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels would become this?
5 minutes Turkish. No, I mean it's funny because like he was a dancer or something like that before all this shit. So now he's just like every woman who like bald men's wet dream. Like he's I wonder how old he is. He got to be almost approaching 60 now.
Jason Statham. 56.
So yeah, he's almost 60. He's approaching it. So I seen that. Then after that, it's like, what else did I do that day? I wanted to go to Sam's Club, but I couldn't. So I just went to go pick up the boys. And then, you know, yet again, you know, we went downstairs, we did homework. And then like right around as the night progressed, like I had talked to my mom and she was like, you should keep the boys home tomorrow. And I'm like, I was like, it was cold today and they still went to school. Then we got the message at 11, like, oh yeah, we're not going to be open tomorrow. So, they stayed home. And during the time I was home, I had, 2 meetings at work where I had to be on camera. And like the second meeting was with, how would I say this? my immediate supervisor, and
Mhm.
then her supervisor. And luckily, like, both of them are pretty cool. I'm like, hey, boys, get up, hurry up, let's get this done so you don't bother me about it later. Now, this is my one boss, and this is my another boss. Y'all can say hi. And they're like, hi. And like, my youngest son was like, hey, I would give y'all a hug if I was seeing y'all in person. And then he went to go sit down. I was like, don't say that shit. That's you gotta stop hugging people. And yeah, that meeting went off. And the rest of the day was just like, it's funny, like how packed the day is when you have to hey, first we got breakfast, do some bullshit. Then you got lunch. You got more bullshit to do. Then it's time for dinner. There's more stuff to do. So, it was a packed day. And then today was my youngest son's first official basketball practice day. He's on the basketball team. And man, I fucking hate it. Like, the coach sucks. Yeah, she just seems like a bad coach, and it sucks. And I don't, and like to have to pay for the privilege to have him do this bullshit is beyond me. But you know what? At the end of the day, he seems to be having an okay time. So I can't say anything. So hopefully, with these games that are coming up, he has a good time. My oldest son, actually, when he seen how the first day of practice went, he's like, I want to be on the team. I'm like, man, we tried to get you signed up. You said you didn't want to do it. So now he's just sitting down on the sideline reading books and drawing. Because
ever so slightly salty.
Like, it was funny. He was like, hey, can I just go discovering around the school? I'm like, go ahead. And then his mom was like, it might be strangers in here. I'm like, it probably is, but he can run to us if he need to. But yeah, I think I want to try to go to movies more. Unfortunately, I did fall asleep during the movie. I just can't. It's no place I'm not gonna fall asleep when it's like it's dark and comfortable.
Yeah. That has become an issue as you get a little. It can, especially if a movie hit a chill vibe point. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just like, okay, it's very relaxing right here.
It's a little bit of fight, not much. Yeah.
The second time I saw Everything Everywhere All at Once, we saw it in when they were closing down the Regal in the Great Northern. Mm-hmm. It was like the last movie we had to go see there. We wanted to make sure we went to go, kiss the game goodbye. And even as actiony as that movie is in its latter half, I just comfortably nodded off with Vanessa. It was just like lovely. I had nothing wrong with it. I woke up clean. It's like, that was nice. It's a good little bit of a rest. But I am who I am, and my kid is who I was, and that we can sleep in just about anywhere, no matter the noise. I have fallen asleep at a stadium. My kid has fallen asleep at a stadium. It's just what it is to be easily rested. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with you on that, man. Sometimes it's just like life be so busy and coming so fast, and the like you said, sometimes the boy might show up and have him like, hey man, I had a bad dream, so I'm about to be laying next to you and talking in my sleep right in your bed and so forth. So it's like, well, you just get a little dolo time, a little relaxing time. It's like, yeah, I'll take this. Let me just lean back for a few.
Yeah, I used to be not really anti-nap, but like I rarely ever take naps. I take a nap like every day now. Like,
it depends on the level of tired I am. I'm still can't really pull off naps, but sometimes it's like it's a point where I'm like, I have to go close my eyes for a few minutes. Otherwise, I'm going to fall asleep at this computer, and that's going to be no bueno because my finger's just going to be on the keys fucking up something. So rather than do that, I will go, take my lunch, set an alarm for like 30 so I don't get too deep into a sleep. You know what I'm saying? I can't be hitting REM sleep. But yeah, man, a nap from time to time is something that has to happen. I got out early today because the kid had a doctor's appointment, so I took a half sick day and just chilled for a little bit, man, and took the trash out. It's a trash day, and sat and just vibed. Worked on the art and the notes for the show that went up today because I had edited the show, but I hadn't written it up and did the art for it yet. And plus, I changed the title of that show. So the video that our patrons got of the episode of last week's episode, whatever how you wish to look at it, has a different name on it because it was going to be named. What was it going to be named? Look at a smooth 72. But as I edited it, what'd you say? You said you can never skip leg day in regards to washing the legs. And I was like, that's hilarious. And I bet you that art will be I can make something happen with that. And I did. If you've seen the art for it. So like I said, that title came in the edit as opposed to what was there initially what I wrote down.
I think that's a pretty cool thing to name it two different things for two different mediums.
Fair. Like I say, and so I hope you appreciate that, patrons, for our video viewers. But it is what it is, man. What else, man? What was the second thing besides going to see some cinema?
I think I covered it with also the basketball.
Fair enough.
It was something else. Did you guys have any Anthony came up to me after my movie excursion, like, hey man, can I go see the Beekeeper with you? And I'm like, I don't know. It is rated R. He's like, well, what is some movies that that we can watch together? I was like, you know what? I'm recording tonight. I will ask the fellas what movie they suggest for you to watch.
Okay. First, tell me a movie that you fuck with. That you would like, I would like them to watch that because we get to that point.
Well, I want to watch Pee-wee's Big Adventure with him.
Okay, that is a movie that can be and probably is appreciated by certain people, but not everybody.
Yeah, and plus, I think
would you be disappointed if they didn't fuck with that movie?
I don't know, but I do feel like the "Tell Them Large Marge sent you" part might scare the fuck out of them. That part is legitimately scary. But on the same lines, I know. Never mind. I told you guys about them fucking with a pup called Scooby Doo real hard right now.
Yeah.
And Emery don't like any kind of.
Well, Dan didn't know that. Dan didn't know you found Pup Named Scooby Doo on Tubi, as he wasn't here last week. But Tubi paid off for Ann here, and he found a show that he'd been looking for a minute. A Pup Named Scooby Doo. You might recall it. It's an OG classic.
It was better than the original. But I can tell you what you won't find on Tubi, and that's Cedric the Entertainer.
Oh.
Not even on Tubi.
Yeah, Tubi got so much stuff on there. I know this is 2 weeks. Tubi, we're not sponsored by Tubi because it don't even cost anything. But man, you can find everything on there. And like I said, last week it was Anthony. But this week, Emery is obsessed with it. He loved the theme song. He don't want you to skip no parts of it. He got a favorite episode already.
My favorite Scooby-Doo is, of course, the Scooby-Doo Mysteries, where they had celebrities come through, Scooby-Doo and the Harlem Globetrotters. Scooby-Doo, Batman and Robin. It's a weird combo of, whatever.
Yes.
Those is my shit.
The one with Mama Cash is my favorite episode.
Yeah, that shit is so good. What's the one with the dude, Pretty Mary Sunlight? She's all right.
I think that's the OG. I think that's the they used to be their breakdown.
Oh, I thought that was just like they had a guest on who was
it very well might be, but if I'm not mistaken, that was like the original Scooby Doo, and then they do the running and the psychedelic colors and stuff. Yeah. But that's my second favorite. My favorite is a pup called Scooby Doo. Then my third might be the ones for Scrappy Doo. I don't care what nobody say. Scrappy Doo is a fucking fun character. I mean, And like he reminds me of my son, like always ready to go fisticuffs, puppy power. What?
Yeah, I preferred the Pup Named Scooby Doo to the regular Scooby Doo, just like I preferred the Flintstones Kids to the Flintstones.
Oh, I fuck with the Muppet Babies more than the regular Muppets. Muppet Babies.
Yep.
Muppet Babies did have a vibe. Plus, they had all kinds of like very inside jokes. If you were, whatever, depending on your age and depending on your parents, everybody got a good time out of the Muppet Babies. Flintstone Kids is nothing compared to OG Flintstones to me. It's disrespectful. So I do not fuck with Flintstone Kids. In that, I mean, whatever. It was a Saturday morning cartoon, so it's not like we had too many episodes of Flintstone Kids. It's an ABC joint. But yeah, man, Flintstones, Meet the Flintstones, the modern Stone Age family is my shit. And so currently I was going to say it might be some Fruity Pebbles on top of my fridge right now, but no, the kid and had their friend or whatever, they ate my damn cereal. So currently no Fruity Pebbles in my house, but most of the time they available. I bang with that set. That's a brand that has lived on. Still got Flintstone vitamins. You still got Fruity Pebbles. You know what I'm saying? Movies, so forth and so on, bro. Fred and them don't play.
Yeah, but
to download that game. I wonder if I have that game. My analog in the other room.
I don't know. It might be on Tubi, but I don't know where to watch on the Flintstones like proper.
That's definitely a Boomerang joint. One of them old shits, right?
Yeah, and that was the problem because like when we had Time Warner cost a lot, but they're like their app presence, like watching their stuff on their app is very, very simple and very, very vast and very great. Like with AT&T, they're like, no, you got to piece that shit out and pay us more. But when we had Boomerang, like before we switched over to no cable, I'm like, hey man, take advantage of this Boomerang. You got a lot of good cartoons on there. And the kids just weren't ready to hear that message yet. But now,
apparently, you can watch the Flintstones Kids on Boomerang and Amazon Prime Video.
Not for free though. On Amazon.
Let's see. Oh, they want me to download the app. Man, get fucked.
I didn't know usually when to say Amazon that you got to pay. You got to pay something. I know with some stuff, they'll let you watch it standard definition. Like some movies like, no, you ain't got to pay it if you watch a standard definition. I'm like, fuck it, I ain't going to see it that good.
I don't need no clarity.
Yeah. Okay, you can watch it on Amazon for free if you have Boomerang.
Oh.
So basically, it's on Boomerang.
Yeah. Like, that's not free, Amazon. I had to pay for that shit. Get out of here.
Yeah, you could buy digital rights to the Flintstones Kids on Amazon for $1.99 per episode. Man, a Flintstones Christmas Carol. Could rent that shit for $3.99.
What party, my pebbles?
Yabba dabba do, they're fruit delicious too.
I'm hungry.
Santa, my pebbles. This is the season to be sharing.
Tis the season, Fred.
Santa's such an asshole.
TV did a lot of raising of we. I can tell y'all that.
Well, that was it.
So I guess like if I had to make a suggestion, have they ever seen the original Ninja Turtle movies?
No, they haven't. That's a good call, man.
Yeah, I think those movies hold up pretty well.
Yes,
I fuck with those movies hard.
Well, I don't know about the third one,
Turtles in Time,
but
the third one was never good. The first, when I say, I mean the first two.
Okay.
Yeah. Ninja. Can't go wrong with that shit. Also, TMENT, no power. You know what I'm saying? I got that on vinyl over there, bro. So in a jean jacket vest with some pizza stickers, I have to pull that record out so you can see that one day. It's a fascinating that's a record store day joint I got. Yeah, Goonies. Y'all watch Goonies?
We've seen it. He's seen the Goonies.
Okay. Good enough for me.
Have they seen Jurassic Park?
Yes. No. They have not seen Jurassic Park. There's some eating the people in there right off the bat. So
Yeah. That is
But it's like in the grand scheme of things, it's really not that gory.
no, it's no blood or
It
nothing.
is literally at one point just a loose
it's-
ass arm right in that movie.
But like
We
when you see
disagree
that
on what
now,
gore
it's
is.
very clearly a prop now when you look at like when I was a kid, I was like, oh my god, how'd they do that? And now when I watch that movie, like yeah, that looks like a plastic arm. Like it's
Yes,
very
but
clear.
he's watching with kids. That's the point.
Well, kid.
And nobody wants to be like, that's just a fake arm. Don't do that.
I know, but it's not like you're watching like a dinosaur sit there and just eat away the flesh of somebody. Like it's implied gore.
Okay.
Implied
Like
nudity.
Very
when they
tasteful.
pull when the Raptors pull the person into the paddock, you just like you hear screaming and shit, but you don't actually see it happening.
I'll take it into consideration. I definitely won't show my youngest son, but my oldest son, he can watch.
Yeah, Ninja Turtles definitely get love.
Do they have any interest in Ghostbusters? Especially with the new movie coming out?
I don't know. I could put that on the list, but don't somebody get blown by a ghost in that movie?
Yes, I would tell you the second one is the more child friendly one.
Okay.
Yeah, but as a kid, if you don't tell them what's happening, they won't figure that out until they're adults. Like that went over my head for years. I didn't understand what was happening. I'm being honest.
Batman.
I'm just speaking my truth.
Batman '89.
Yes.
That's a little fun action.
I think he's caught up on his he's seen both the I guess the 89 and the 90 or 91.
I just am not a. No, I actually have to listen to this week's newcomers. I think I need to revisit Returns to see if I fuck with it or not. I don't recall. I feel like I don't fuck with that one.
I enjoyed it as a kid. And I remember it was a lot of with the young ladies when I was younger, like, hey, you want to play Batman the Catwoman?
Nice. All the Marvel movies. I don't think there's one Marvel movie that can't make the cut.
Yeah, the only one I probably wouldn't watch with him is the last Doctor Strange, because that's straight up a horror movie.
Yes, Sam Raimi. So yeah, it's a very Plus that one is wildly violent. You know what I'm saying? In a way to make you go, ooh, okay, y'all wild.
Yeah.
Fifth Element. That movie's wild. It's just such a funny little adventure that it kind of works out, and it might be a little potty mouth, so I don't know about that.
See, the challenge with me is I didn't watch a lot of non-rated R movies as far as like movie going. So honestly, it would be more fun to be like, hey, why don't you pick a movie and let's like just watch a movie together, because I didn't watch a lot of like kid movies growing up.
Yeah. Yeah, any number of Air Bud if you want to watch something stupid.
I fuck with the buddies. Like
Mighty Ducks. You know what I'm saying?
I think I've ever seen Mighty Ducks before.
Yeah.
What about Terminator 2?
Terminator 2 is the PG one because Terminator 1 is rated R.
But Terminator 2 is rated R as well, but it probably shouldn't be. It'd be PG-13 if it came out today.
Okay.
That movie is that nuclear explosion scene in that movie still fucks with me to this day, and I'm a grown ass man. Cannot recommend Terminator for the children.
I remember I seen that at the movie theater when it came out.
So I saw it at the drive-in. I saw the drive-in that is now an Amazon warehouse. So yeah, that's a wild that's a movie, man. That is a.
Have they seen Space Jam?
Yes. Because when the LeBron James one came out, like they fucking loved it and they watched it over and over.
So I take it they've seen shit like a Goofy movie too.
No. I tried to show it to him, and he didn't want to watch it.
Man, that hurts my heart.
I feel like in time he might come to it a little bit more, but with all the singing and stuff, that's more of an Emery movie. Like, Emery is the song and dance man, and Anthony is like, I want to see you bleed. Like, he likes anime, he likes action, he loves like Star Wars stuff. Like,
what do you think about House Party? Getting cussy. Nah, they kind of fucking that movie, don't they? My man pull a rubber out and everything, so nah, probably not.
Is, but I would like to watch the 5 Heartbeats with him. I feel like the 5 Heartbeats, in my opinion, when it comes to black movies, to me, the 5 Heartbeats, The Wiz,
knocked off the mic.
Color Purple, The Color Purple, and because I'm not a Boys in the Hood like Men's Society type guy, but I would just say like the 5 Heartbeats, The Wiz, are I have to see.
I wasn't into those movies either. I was more into like shit like The Wood. Or Love and Basketball.
The Wood is so good.
Yeah.
The Brothers was all right.
What movie does Tracy shows back up in a movie years down the line, and I cannot remember the brother Tracy.
He was in he was in Dope.
Dope is when he came back around. There's like that. There's like, yeah, this is basically the same character. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah. I think same director and everything.
Yeah.
Like but like what?
Do you think he would like shit like 90s Jim Carrey movies like The Mask or Ace Ventura or anything like that? Ace Ventura probably not a good watch at this point, but like The Mask was like, childish,
liar,
comedic. Yeah.
I think
I just don't know if that like if that's his style or not.
He's not really like I would say not a big comedy dude. Like he does like Christmas movies and stuff like that, but like he's definitely like a Star Wars kind of kid, or like I was telling you before we start recording, like he's been watching Demon Slayer on the low. Like he ran through The Mandalorian, like he was watching him before his mom was.
You said you haven't fucked with Star Wars.
Yeah, I ain't no Star Wars dude.
Star Wars 1, 2, and 3. And that's about where you should stop at.
When you say that, you mean 4, 5, and 6?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. The Star Wars, Empire, and Jedi. And that's and nothing else exists after that. I'm sorry, they stopped making Star Wars movies. It's weird. No, I actually do. I though a lot of people hate it. I absolutely love The Last Jedi, but I know I'm the weirdo in that regard, or not really, but still, there are those who don't, and there are those who do. But that last one, Rise of Skywalker, is maybe the worst movie I've ever seen in my life, and I have seen Attack of the Clones. It's a pretty shitty movie in the Star Wars Canada thing, but boy howdy is the Rise of Skywalker execrable. Just a pile of crap, man.
Man, look at us agreeing on something. Who would have thought? Not me.
Oh my God. I don't know, man. I'm very excited for you to check in with us and let us know what y'all have chosen together as a little unit to watch. Bro, your collection is, you still got all your movies? Or have you straight? Okay.
I've been thinking, thinking about like just getting rid of, like, I don't watch them enough because I do still have a lot of DVDs and a fair amount of Blu-rays, but like, I know for a fact I got some pretty valuable pieces in there. Like, I got like a original printing of Mother's Day. It's like this trauma movie or trauma, and I would never part with that because I remember so fondly as a kid. Have you guys ever seen that before?
No.
It's a slasher film about Mother's Day, and like just at the very, very end, like the mother jump out of the grave, and that shit is the only part that I it was like
You know a movie I just thought of that like we watched when I was a kid in school that I liked? The Last Starfighter.
oh
Yes, great movie. Gary Whitta, who wrote Rogue One and Book of Eli, came so close to getting that up and running as they were going to do basically a sequel to it. He had almost all the actors ready to get with him. He had it written up and stuff like that there, and it was just it had almost got the green light, and he just didn't happen. Plus, like pandemic and shit happened, but he was very close to getting a sequel to that up and running. And I was very excited for it. He had talked about it for years and how he was hyped to do it. And like I said, people were like, "Yeah, I'll definitely come back and act and blah blah blah." So,
yeah, if he fucks with Star Wars, that could be up his alley.
okay.
Yep.
Well, that reminds.
If you're gonna do that, Ready Player One, kind of that same vein.
Okay, Ready Player One, Last Starfighter.
Yeah,
I know. We probably watched The Last Dragon together already. I don't know how much he enjoyed that though.
Karate Kid.
The Karate Kid. No, we haven't watched that.
Okay.
But I think he was watching. What's the name of that show?
Cobra Kai.
Yeah, Cobra Kai for a little bit.
Yeah. So, kind of got a few of those that can be taken advantage of. Big Trouble in Little China. Hands down. You want some action and whatever, and just a little bit of scary, but you know what I'm saying, for all the good reasons.
Yeah,
love that movie. God, I love that movie, man.
Yeah, Big Chuck and Little not Big Chuck.
I get you. Plus, man, I'm who did I watch talk about? Jessica Gao and Andrew T. We're just had a discussion about a movie. They were like, yo, is this movie okay, or is this movie kind of racist? And it turns out they were like, nah, man, everybody in this movie has agency. Of the main character, he goes, the white guy in that movie is really just a bumbling idiot, and the main guy is, you know what I'm saying, is amazing, martial artist and so forth and so on. And they talk about how dope that is, and yeah, man, I love that movie. That movie is one of my favorite. What's his name?
Kurt Russell.
Who was that guy who did those?
Oh,
movies? Well, yes, but the guy who directed those movies. Man, can't think of his name for shit. John something or other. So he also did The Thing and a bunch of other joints. So I fuck with that dude a lot, man, and I fuck with that movie in particular. So I definitely recommend that. Plus, I mean, maybe if you know, but like Mortal Kombat definitely comes. A lot of Mortal Kombat came from that movie. Just a lot of it. It's like,
yeah, you were right. John Carpenter did.
Carpenter. I could not think of that last name. Yeah. So it's like that's how that gets down, man. X, and I don't know what to tell you about T's life. T's life rocks a little chaotic some days, and that's about all I got for you right now. And it'll be all right. We'll be all right. Trust. Yeah, let's. I told you I was gonna run it slightly tighter this week, man. So you know what it is, man. Every week we head down to the mean streets of Reddit, where I have run through, and trust me, I put more effort in this than you would think to make a selection of Emma the assholes, which we discussed. Decided these people were assholes. I had a couple that was just sad, and I was like, well, I'll save those for another week. And even still, I got one that still is lightweight, kind of sad. But here are our Emma the assholes for the week, gentlemen. Emma the asshole for calling my step siblings suffocating and refusing to participate in family vacations. Emma the asshole for telling my wife she needs to knock on my separate bedroom door before entering. Am I the asshole for not giving my mother my password?
The middle one seems to be the funniest to me. Why does she need to knock?
Let's go. Am I the asshole for telling my wife she needs to knock on my separate bedroom door before entering? About a year ago, 44 male, wife 38 female, suggested us getting separate bedrooms since she had a lot of trouble sleeping together, and it would allow us to have our own privacy. I was initially not a big fan of the ideal because I thought it would affect our relationship and our connection, but after talking about it for a few months, I reluctantly agreed. She also suggested that we need to respect each other's privacy by knocking on each other's doors before entering. So for about a year now, we have had our own bedrooms. And to my surprise, I've been enjoying it a lot. We still sleep together a few times a week, but do spend the majority of our nights separately. I have really enjoyed the privacy and having the opportunity to unwind by myself without having to worry about anything else. But my wife, on the other hand, doesn't seem to be enjoying it as much. She has started spending more nights with me in my bedroom, which is fine. But she now has started to acting like we don't have any agreements at all. At first, she was very adamant about knocking on each other's doors before entering each other's rooms and would frequently call me out if I did. But now she started acting like my separate bedroom is her bedroom and she doesn't knock before entering my room like we agreed to. When I called her out on it, she got really emotional and angry with me. She told me that I didn't care about her and I didn't want to have her around anymore. She also said that it really hurts her feelings. But I just referred to all the rules she made up that has gotten her really upset. Am I the asshole?
I want to hear Dan's perspective first.
Man, because the single man's perspective, huh? Here's the thing. This feels like one of them times where a woman says something that sounds like one thing but means another. And I understand where he's coming from. But
you should know better.
if you love your wife, just fucking whatever, man. Like, you're all married. It's not like you're separated or some shit. Just fucking sack up and just cave, I guess. Unless, like, the only thing I can say is the caveat would be, if he didn't want this shit to begin with and he's upset about it, then maybe I could see him like being a little more aggressive towards the rules. But,
you see, that's exactly what it is. He didn't want to do it, did it. Now he kind of vibe with it, and now she don't like it because he vibe with it. But the reality of it is you can't do shit about it, bro. Sometimes that's just how, like you just said, bro. Sometimes it's simply how it plays out. And what it is now he's just being a stickler. He being a butt because he knew what it was. He didn't want to do it. Knew what the results would probably end up being. They have resulted exactly like how he probably thought they would be. And here she go, not abiding by these rules. And now he's like, hold on, you set these rules. And I know we all want to do that. Hold on, you set these rules. But all that shit gonna get you is a woman crying, talking about you don't love me.
It's along the same lines of like, hey, I'm going out to get lunch. Do you want something? No, I'm fine. And then you come back and you got yourself a 12-incher from Jersey Mike's. And she's like, can I have a little bit? You're like, I'm very hungry. You know you should have bought her that Veggie Delight and kept it on the side, even though she said she didn't want it. It's kind of like that. Like, it's always those. And I know, I don't even know if I'm really sounding sexist about it or whatever, but it's like, you kind of like, you ain't gonna win. You're not gonna win, man. Even when they make the rules, it's like, you know, women got that trump card called for JJ, and you better just stop it and cave in.
It's like that video I sent you guys the other day of the old man on the porch, and he was explaining what women really mean when they say all these various things. This is another one of them times, you know?
I mean,
hey man,
it ain't.
Like
It's
this.
just a dirty game, and ain't nobody playing fair.
Yeah. And again, no, not the asshole, because all you're doing is abiding by the rules that were placed in front of you. But it is some bullshit. And sorry, champ, you got to suck it up and deal with the bullshit.
I just wonder how many everybody sucks this is going to be.
It's actually a lot of not the asshole, but Reddit is full of like my man said in the bear, you QAnon, 4chan, Snyder Cut motherfucker. So oftentimes they are not to be trusted in their statements. But let's see if we can find anything. I'll just dive in. I mean, I agree. Sometimes sleep on the couch is a fancy one either way because I snore, but there's no way to knock before you come into that room. And OP didn't explain what led to such a situation. Seems either of them fucked up big, OP, because the wife wanted separate rooms. Nah. Or she wanted privacy to do something in secrecy. Oh, Jesus Christ. The leaps that ready to be made. Yeah. Look, she want a room because she probably was like, this motherfucker snore, or she might snore and like is embarrassed about it, or she might have like the night poops and is embarrassed about it. Any number of things.
Or she
happened.
Just want to sleep like a starfish.
Man, we got these extra rooms. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Let's just separate rooms, this motherfucker.
Like some people just...
Oh, hold on. Here, the OP said something. This is a wild opinion, but sounds a bit like I was having my secret fun alone, and now that it's over, I want you back. Like I said in another comment, this might well be true, but I doubt it since our sex life hasn't really changed. Starting the whole arrangement, we still are regularly intimate like we used to be. Okay, so that's the OP coming to be like, hey man, y'all wild and talking about my wife wanted separate rooms to do some secret shit. She wanted separate rooms for whatever reason she wanted separate rooms, and that's it. There'll be no more of it.
He wanted to watch SVU and he didn't want to watch it.
Bro, Vanessa like having the TV on when she goes to sleep, and I don't. But guess what I gotta do? Sleep with the damn TV on. It just is what it is.
It's funny. It's this one TikTok I seen a while back where it's like the wife and the husband have an argument, and the wife can't sleep at night, and then the husband is like eating popcorn, laughing at TV, like eating snacks and having a good time. It is the most one of the most hilarious videos I've seen in a while.
Yeah, man. You're an asshole, but you still wrong. Yeah. Which is
you're definitely wrong. Like,
ain't that a blip how that can be? But that is what it is to be a partner in a relationship. It is plenty of other things that he probably get away with that she don't, and so forth and so on, man. So I'm not saying on some old, she's a woman and it just goes down like that. But I'm saying right now, hey, man, it just goes down like that. Because it does. It just is what it is, man. Oof. Alas. Am I the asshole for calling my step-siblings suffocating and refusing to participate in family vacations? You have to guess. But especially as a step-sibling, you know what it is. But
I'm gonna go with yes.
You don't have any steps. I don't think you got any. You don't got steps. Do you? Got all have siblings, right?
Yeah, I'll have.
Yeah. So I feel like that already changes the game a little bit.
I'm going to say they're the asshole. I want to be different tonight. Right.
My dad got married to Liz 4 years ago. I, 15 male, was spending equal amounts of time with both my mom and dad, and the custody schedule was me swapping houses each week. Liz has 3 kids from her first marriage, and those kids are 10, 8, and 7 now. The kids were clingy from the day they moved in, but then in June and July 2020, I was living there exclusively because my mom ended up in the hospital. I couldn't do anything without the kids being in my face. Then, and every time I asked Dad and Liz to help me stop them, they refused, and the kids didn't listen to me saying no. My dad told me I would never get another chance to have siblings and embrace and nurture the relationship with them. I told him this was making them feel more like burdens than siblings, and he told me I was too young to see them that way and dismissed my need for space. It was a huge relief when Mom got better and I could go to her house for breaks. By the time I was 12, I had asked my mom if she could go to court and change the custody deal so I could spend more time with her. I was 13 when it was successful. My dad was upset, and Liz was kind of mad that her kids would miss me more than they did while I was at Dad's. My uncle, Dad's brother, and his husband even said how strangely clingy the kids were, and they found it weird that every time I was with my mom, the kid, I don't know why I said mom. It says mom. The kids would be asking when I would come home and why they couldn't see me. I wouldn't even be gone a day, and they would ask that. They started that before, and even before we knew each other a year. I spend way less time with my dad now, and I went on vacation with him, Liz, and the kids last June, and it was miserable. My vacation was basically spending all the week with the kids and following them around and doing stuff they liked. On Christmas Eve, I spent a few hours at Dad's house because the court still asked for that. So I was there, and my step siblings were being super clingy and telling me not to go, and I should be with them at Christmas. And then they demanded they get invited to my mom's house. And Liz asked me how I could leave and miss out on a family Christmas and hurt my siblings so much. Dad told me on the drive back to mom's. He told me, okay, that is how it's written. He told me that I should be taking my responsibility more seriously. I took a 3-week break from them, but the 10-year-old called me daily during those 3 weeks. Then Dad announced we were going on vacation again in May, and he was saying it was a place I wanted to go. I decided right then and there I was not going to ruin a place I had always wanted to go by being smothered by my step siblings. And I told Dad they can go, but I won't, and I won't be going on vacation with them again. He was surprised. He told me that I had to go, and I said I don't, and I won't. And he asked me for one good reason why, and I told him my step siblings would ruin it by suffocating me, and that he and Liz wouldn't do anything about it. Dad called my attitude nasty, said I should be ashamed of myself talking about them like that. Am I the asshole?
I think it's tough because I guess like maybe this is one of those instances where like you choose your family, but like in this case he kind of didn't get to choose his family. Maybe he wouldn't have chose them if he had the choice. So I can see his perspective, his stance on this.
I can't.
Maybe just how do you see it?
Only thing they said was the kids were being clingy. So they see a cooler older sibling that come into their life, and they want to spend time with them. Like they didn't say there was no other characteristics that they were like misbehaving or breaking their shit or anything else besides them being clingy. Like I don't know what kind of situation these kids were in before, but obviously they're in a new situation with new family, and they seem to like their new older sibling, and that's it. There were no other characteristics that were negative besides them being clingy, and little kids are like that.
I guess like I can see that maybe this person is taking it too far, but I will say that as someone who was always the older sibling, sometimes the clinginess of my younger siblings was a little much to take because you feel like your parents to a degree try to hold you back from growing because the little ones want to do what you're doing and they can't, so like you get stuck sometimes not being able to grow and do what you want to do because they want to like make the younger ones happy. It's a tough balance.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But the first thing I knew that this person was on some bullshit was right off the bat, Liz. Like they keep on saying like usually when you gotta like put somebody's first name out there like that, instead of saying, "Oh, my stepmom,"
they're using my government.
Yeah, I knew right away, in my opinion, that person was on some bullshit. Like right off the bat, like you know what, my dad and Liz, like
what are you supposed to call
my
her?
Stepmom?
I guess.
Okay, like it's one of my coworkers.
Maybe they just don't have that kind of relationship.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
They don't have that type of relationship. She doesn't like her right off the bat. I know, like one of my coworkers, like we were just talking about family, and she just kept on saying my husband's daughter. I'm like, what are you doing? I know that's not your daughter. That's your stepdaughter now. Like for you to like put that extra layer of that away. Yeah. Like I understand like this isn't the situation like your mom and your dad aren't together anymore and they're with another person. And I know you're still a preteen to teen, but like you sound like you're being a little bit you're being a little bit catty.
Shocking. I disagree with Anthony. Shocking to know what I think about it. Let's read some of the comments. Not the asshole. Your dad and Liz are failing you and your step siblings. There needs to be boundaries for the kids. If they had none had done this from the first time, you might have been able to develop feelings or for your step siblings. The way they treated you, them / guarantee that you will never want to be around them at all. Correct. And the OP responds, yep, I think there might actually be a relationship now if they had helped set things up better. Instead, I do not enjoy a single second of being near those kids. And sometimes I feel like they were the meme where I'm running from them and they're screaming, let me love you as they chase me. Let's scroll down. So see if I can see anybody else responding. Not the asshole. I get the feeling with the kids bothering you, Dad and Liz do not have to take care of them. Mm-hmm. The behavior is so wrong. 3 young children should not be dependent on another child, and shame on Dad and Liz allowing this to happen and for it to continue. That's exactly what it is. They have parentified this child in this new marriage between them, and that's not what his job is. Not as what his job ever was. Lived a life 12 years without any siblings, and then all of a sudden they like, I'm about to throw you 3 of them, and they gonna be on your shit. And then when you tell me, hey, yo, I don't like them being on my shit, I'm going to tell you that you're a brat or an asshole or whatever terms of phrase they use, as opposed to saying, well, what's going on here? How can we make it better? Because if you do that, maybe we can make it better. But when you just say, man, you're going to miss this. You're going to love it. This is the only time you're going to have siblings. Sir, that's not fixing the problem. And that's just trying to make me feel shitty because you shitty. Fuck that. No, you're not an asshole. But your father and stepfather, I'm looking at real crooked. Like I would think, with you having gone to court to have to spend less time with him, he maybe realized something probably ain't right here, and to still not see that, then he is woefully ignorant and putting on blinders for a dumb reason. And I guess that his reason is to try to be supportive of his wife because he has to support his wife. But my kids come before anybody. Simple. So, no, you're not the asshole. But Anthony thinks you're an asshole.
I don't change my mind about calling this kid an asshole because from what I heard, I heard nothing about extra responsibilities for that kid. I didn't hear that. And like as a kid who when I was younger, had to live that life where, like when I went to my dad's house and he had upwards of like 7 other kids there, trying to find a one kid to connect with there was a fucking challenge. When all of them are older and you got to be there all weekend and you don't got nobody to talk to, and it can be like it's very cool when you find a stepbrother or a stepsister that you can connect with. And when I used to go over there, my dad used to be working all weekend. And then like we'll get to spend some time together. But most of the time I was just with the other kids. And most of the other kids weren't that great. But my stepbrother Chris was. So I don't know. I feel like sometimes you got to do those 2 steps forward and 2 steps back because 7-year-old Anthony probably wasn't the coolest.
Yeah,
I don't know. I've heard some stories about 7-year-old Anthony hitting on babysitters and whatnot. So
yeah, my mom still talks about like it's funny. One of the ladies' legs I used to rub all the time. Like, man, she got about 8 kids now. I'm like, for real?
Oh, man. Fucking shit. All right, last one. Am I the asshole for not giving my mother my password?
Not the asshole?
Yeah, I would have said no.
Fair. Hi, I'm 20 female, and I'm a first-year medical student. I have a student's portal, and obviously it comes with login details, like my student number and password. My mother literally knows everything that happens in my life, despite the fact that I'm schooling in a totally different country. If I'm on a call with her and another call comes in, she'll always want me to tell her the person that called and what we talked about. She calls me every single day, and she wants to hear every single thing I did that day. She literally has the phone number of everyone I know. If I accidentally mention someone new, she'll make me send them number. Can't make you do shit. At first, I didn't mind, but now I feel like I'm monitored. So the new semester started this week, and as usual, she asked me for all my timetables, class schedules. I reluctantly gave it to her, but when she asked for my school portal login details, I immediately called her and told her that I didn't want to give it to her. She was furious and demanded for my details. She said, I'm investing in you, so I have every right to know what's happening in your life. I asked her why she behaved, why she badly wanted my, okay, it, and she, okay, that's how she wrote it. Why she badly wanted my it. And she said that she wants to be checking my portal whenever she feels like, for example, she wants to, what? I'm going to assume this is a second language situation. She wants to be checking my results, which I always send her once it's out, and so on. I told her that although I'm not hiding anything from her, I would like some privacy. If she ever wants anything relating to my portal, I'll screenshot and send it to her. She started crying and saying stuff like I'm hiding something and I want to deceive her, like my older brother. He dropped out of college for years and never told anyone for a long time. Then she cut the call. This incident happened this morning, and it's been bothering me. I feel real bad for what I did, and I'm contemplating sending it to her. But for once, I want a little privacy in my life. So am I the asshole?
No.
They said the parents paying for school, right?
No. The mother just said, I'm investing in you. So, I mean, I guess we can take that.
I guess if the parents are paying for school, then I would say they can have the portal password. But if they're themselves are paying for school, then I say it's their call.
Interesting. Not the asshole. She has no right to any of your passwords, and she has no right to spy on you like that. She started crying. Yeah, that's right. She turned on the tears when she doesn't get what she wants. She's trying to emotionally manipulate you. Don't let her. I'm investing in you, so I have the right to know what happens in your life. One's children aren't an investment. That's a grotesque way to think. She should want you to succeed for your own sake, not so that she can be something that she can get some kind of return from you. Dig that. Let's see. This person says, and when you work as a doctor one day, will you give her a login to have her access patient information? If you're in medical school, you are over 21, not quite. They just said they were 20, so this person clearly didn't read that clearly. And it's time to separate from mommy. Somebody responds to that. This right here, not the asshole. OP needs to cut the cord, and mommy needs to come to terms with it quickly. OP, your mother has an unhealthy attachment to you. Stop giving her your friends' numbers, facts, and stop giving her your other information. Put her on an information diet. You need to focus on your schooling and studies. You do not have time or energy to be wasting on managing another grown woman's irrational fears and demands. This is not healthy for either of you, nor is it normal behavior. If she has a problem with it, she can use her time going to therapy to figure out instead of stalking her adult child. Do not give her your portal login. That is your information, and for your schooling and grades, your school, especially if it's medical school, may have rules against doing this exact thing, and it could put your education in jeopardy. You could lose your spot in the program. You're an adult. All colleges/universities will not give any information out of their students, even to parents who are footing the bill. Get acquainted with FERPA. I don't know what that is. FERPA. Also, cut down on the daily phone conversations and giving the play-by-play of your day to her. Set boundaries. You will call her on Fridays or whatever day works best for your schedule. at X time and only stay on the phone for 30 minutes max. You have studying to do. You have rotations, clinicals, and other demands for medical school that are only going to increase in volume and intensity as you progress through the program. Sleeping is going to be hard to come by. You need to focus on your training. Medical school is demanding. You need to give it the attention you and your future patients deserves. Don't squander your education opportunities because mom has her suffocating and manipulative tactics. While this should go without saying, some things you cannot talk about with her at all, not even a little bit. Does not matter the relationship you have with her. If you give out patient information in the course of discussing your day, you could face some big problems. HIPAA is in place for a reason. This I know Americans be American in it because this person said they in a whole nother country. Said so in their writing, but you over here trying to apply HIPAA to them. Now, unless they are in America and they mom in another country, which is possible, quite possible, in fact. Relax with that shit, right? I'm trying to see if the OP responded to things. If you don't share a password with your mom, will she cut your financial support? I don't know if my dad is aware of it. Wait a minute. Let me click that support. Or does your dad have your back on this? And the OP responded, I don't know if my dad is aware of this. I don't really talk to him. Okay. Not the asshole, but if she is in another country, how can she force you? Guilt. I admit I am not emotionally strong and I have to work on myself. But if I don't do what she wants, she makes me feel like the worst daughter on earth. Plus, they literally pay for everything from my tuition to my rent and my allowance. There you go, Box. Not the asshole, but does she pay for things? If not, then stop answering her goddamn phone. It's actually my dad that pays for everything. And to be honest, I'm scared of him. Recently, I lied to my mom a lot, but she keeps asking so much questions. It's really suffocating. Oh my God. The reality is your mama ain't paying for school, your daddy is, and if you ain't talking to him and he just gonna keep paying, don't worry about it, baby. We good. That is this week's Emma the Assholes. Hope you enjoyed them. If you have anything to comment about them, please holler back at us. Let us know what you dig and don't dig about Emma the Assholes this week. Let's discuss what's left to discuss in the realm of entertainment. Let me get my list up here. Got my list up. Oh, yeah, you know what I got to tell you about, man? Box hit me up today. Was like, did your shit get hacked? And I was like, who? And he's like, you, man. It's a fake-ass Tay-Rail out there. It's a fake Tay-Rail out there, y'all. I had to fucking go tell people to go report that shit. That's wild.
Tay-Rail 47.2.
It's also creepy because they got my pictures.
What's his name? Tay-Rail 742?
Something like that, or 4.2 or whatever. So if you
it's fucked up too that we would have never known if they hadn't fucking tagged me, because they copied your picture descriptions like word for word with tags and everything. So the only reason we even knew about it is because I was tagged in one of the pictures.
Yeah, so that's crazy to me. So if you catch a Tay-Rail that is not the 713, and trust me, you'll know if it's me because I'm not going to talk to you on this screen. and they probably do. Trust it is not me and that it is they, and you should report them and say they are whatever in your man's over here. That was crazy. I've had that happen to friends and I've been like, yo, that's not you, right? No, that's not me, and so forth. And I've just never thought that would even happen to me. Word to two-factor authentication, because trust me, they probably would have tried to make just steal it from underneath my ass. So I'm glad I keep that account locked down. Off to the realm of entertainment, what I have watched. I checked out After Midnight, which is basically Midnight. Y'all remember Midnight on Comedy Central? Basically got a new version of it. Comes on after the Late Show. Only reason I watched because my man Carl Tart was on it and Paul F. Tompkins. And I only watched the episode
hosted by Taylor Tomlinson.
Yes. And I only watched that episode until Carl left the episode. And then I was like, all right, we good. It's fun. It's fine. It's basically just a newer version of Midnight at Midnight that used to be on Comedy Central. And it's just a little bit longer, more. I think it does probably does an hour of regular TV, but about 45 minutes of commercial free if you're on the app. Because I watched it on Paramount Plus. Yeah, it's nice to have that Midnight back. Probably never should have left. I wonder if Weiger writing on that because he wrote on Midnight at Midnight, but I can't call it. Echo. Echo. They released all 5 episodes of Echo on Hulu and Disney Plus. That's a Marvel Spotlight show, meaning it's when they have basically they little more mature shows, a little more bloody shows. They call them Marvel Spotlight, based on the Marvel Spotlight comics of the same name. Echo, I watched all 5 episodes. I had a good time with it. I'm not saying it's the greatest thing, but it was pretty great. Action was real good. Cool characters and so forth. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but if you have not watched Echo, give Echo a watch. 5 episodes. Can't go wrong with it. It's real fun. Carol in the World, I ended up watching all of that. And, it ended a way where we can probably get some more, and I hope we do.
It's a good show.
So, very good show. Carol in the End of the World, you should be watching it. Oh, here, I'm going to reach back behind me. Tell me if you want to be seeing what TB up to, you should probably, get down with this Patreon and you can get a video version of this show. These are the craft singles. Craft singles by The Alchemist. I own currently now 6 of them. And the most recent one arrived the other day. Man, it's this one. I really fuck with this one. You see, it's the black on black. And it is Slipping into Darkness is Hit Boy and The Alchemist. 2 of the greatest producers in hip hop. Both making a beat together and both rapping together on this album, on this particular song. Craft singles are these cool little 45 7-inch records that The Alchemist releases with just a cool little song on it and a B-side, and they're dope. They're numbered. They're rare. They're not rare per se, but this one is 1 of 1,000. This is not 1 of 1,000. That's 1 of 1,000. This one is 1 of 500. So it's actually like even super rare. That's 1 of 1,000. And this one is 1 of 500 as well. So the first one I came across was, of course, this Earl Sweatshirt, Wind in My Sails one. And really, really, really love that song. And I bought every craft single that he's released since. And I bought them directly from him. I paid him directly. But even if I miss one, I already know what the deal is. I'll just pay the resellers, because oftentimes by the time they actually release, the resellers usually put the price at something that's not too out of pocket that I wouldn't pay. Also, I don't know why I was even thinking about this today, but I pulled this one out today. This is Nas, The World Is Yours. I've owned that for a few years now, but I figured I'd share it with you guys, because it comes on this cool little clear vinyl. And I dig it. It's just neat. So that's basically what I've been listening to since last we spoke. What else is on my list here? The Emmys. I watched not all the Emmys, but I watched a couple of a little bit of the Emmys, and the Bear cleaned up at the Emmys, and it was so deserved. AITA Berry, Jeremy Allen White, and Aaron Moss Backrock, and Christopher Storer, who was the showrunner and writer and director of many episodes of The Bear. All won Best Comedy, and it is such a delight. And then I had it pointed out to me on probably a TikTok. Those nominations were all for The Bear season 1. They are going to clean up the next Emmys for season 2, because that's the one with the episode with Everybody Named Mama. Episode 6 has Jamie Lee Curtis and Saul, that's not his name, Bob Odenkirk, and Olivia Munn's man. What is that?
John Mulaney
is not coming to it. John Mulaney
and John Barenthal's in that episode as well.
John Barenthal's in that episode, in a couple episodes as well. Britta from Community's in that episode. Old girl from American Horror Story is in there, killing it as well. And so I feel like season 2 was miles better than season 1. And so I truly think they will clean up at the next Emmys, but also respect due to The Bear.
Jamie Lee Curtis might win an Emmy for that episode, because at first you don't know who I didn't. Sure. She transforms in that episode.
Yes, yeah. I watched the Lord of the Rings, Two Towers. Vanessa always watched the Lord of the Rings. We always watched it, ended watching all the Lord of the Rings, the extended cuts, as around the New Year's, around her birthday, and so she had already watched. When I was going to get her cake, she had already watched Fellowship. So by the time I got home, we sat and watched Two Towers, and yeah, still great after all these years. It's funny when those movies came out. My man Tim, you remember Tim? We used to work with, and he absolutely loved those movies. He was so into those movies, and I was just like, I don't know, man. I just didn't know. I didn't, and so I never gave them any kind of due. And it was years later with Vanessa really loving those movies that I sat and watched. And I was like, oh shit, I was wrong. These are great.
I remember going to Circuit City with him to buy the movies.
Nice. And randomly, I watched The Eternals. The random of that is Vanessa watched Saltburn, and that dude who's in that movie is one of the Eternals. And I just like, watch The Eternals. I watch The Eternals. I like that movie. Don't love that movie, but I do like it, and I very much enjoyed that. So that is all I've watched and listened to this week. Is there anything else? I told you newcomers would talk about Batman Returns this week. That Doughboy shit, man. I actually was watching it today, and you told me how you never expected them books to show up on the Doughboys. Yeah. That was bonkers.
Yeah, almost all the black podcasts I listen to have talked about Quan Mills at some point. It's just I mean, of course, at one point, Rod and Karen were going to do some Quan Mills books. I don't think they ever got around to it because they had read some other books. But like, he's notorious and like has a big following on Amazon. And like, he has a ton of books and they are fucking hilarious. And the fact that they like, it came around to the Doughboys. I thought that was incredible. I've always said like I want to read one of those books one day because like just the titles alone, like the old thought next door.
Mitch was so upset. He goes, "There's nothing in this book about Roach. This is book." He was so upset.
Yeah. Like Quan Mills is like I said, it's one of those things that you never things gonna cross over. But it did. And tax season thoughts. Old thought next door. Don't call me crazy. No, that ain't good. This nigga got a small dick. Oh Lord, this boy don't got red stains on the back of his boxers. That is just like all different. This nigga got a small dick part 2. My baby mama is a loser.
I need you to understand, Doughboys was a clue on Jeopardy this week. It is a massive deal. And so for my man to show up in these things, those books are going to get a different kind of book.
But see, first, they might not for 2 reasons. One, yeah, we know about them because of the obvious. But then he didn't even say it was a Quan Mills book. But I'm sure if they look it up on Amazon, they might find it. But man, it is. I don't know, man. Like I said, I might break down and buy one of those books. I don't know about that one, but and
you see if they in Libby.
They're not. Oh, I already checked. Checked.
Okay.
Because I know this whole guy Roaches in her crib. They got 1 and 2. it's more than one part. What I watched this week is pretty short. I told you about going to the movies. Like, strangely enough, when I'm off work, I don't get to watch a lot of stuff I want to watch. But I did start the new season of True Detective. And I watched the Ted series on Peacock, which was pretty fun. It was pretty funny.
Daniel?
I watched a Browns embarrassing playoff loss. And I watched Ahsoka. Finished it. And
your opinion?
It's all right. Like, it didn't really like wow me per se. It was just solid, but also I don't have any connection to any of those characters because I didn't watch the Clone Wars show.
Yeah.
So for me, it was just an alright Star Wars show. Planning on watching Andor or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was about it. I haven't really done much watching of things the last week.
It's all good. Just relaxing vibes. You been bowling?
I bowled for the first time in 2 months on Monday, and I wasn't very good.
How's it feel to be back on the lanes though?
I definitely feel like I need to get my strength back up. But it's nice to, be out there. Granted, I'm off next week already, so back for the first time almost 2 months, immediately off again. That's the life of a sub.
Yeah. Yep, that's what boxes into. He's a sub, y'all.
I do like being told what to do.
It is all good. You know the deal is. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share to this show wherever you can. That includes over YouTube. The audio versions of the show goes up on YouTube. I didn't put it up yet, but I will have it up there tomorrow. Yes, I'll have it up there tomorrow. By the time you hear this, this one will be. Hopefully, I will have edited and got it up the same day, so you can get it on YouTube if you do. People listen to shit on YouTube. It's weird, but they do, and so whatever. If you want to see the video version of this show, I make a video version of this show that is considerably less edited because I can't edit video like that. So you get pretty much a raw form of the show in video form if you join us at Patreon at the $5 and above tier. Where in general, if you got a couple of bucks also away, join us on Patreon. If you are at the $1 tier, you get what I give you. I'm not gonna lie to you, but you do get something every now and again. I'm just gonna give you something. But if you're at the $5 bill tier, you got to get the video version of this show. You'll get access to our pre Spotify catalog of shows and any other things we do. And so we hope you are so inclined to join us over there. We also have merch over at tpublic.com/user/stays crunchy and milk, all one word. And feel free to give us a call or text us at 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311. We would certainly love to hear from you. And to hear from you, we did. We have a few comments, I guess, on the old website. Not the website, but on the Spotify. Let me pull that up. And I'll tell you. Post responded into what they responded to. Interact is the button I need. All right. This is from episode 520. I'm about $1. What the fuck is 50 Cent wearing? Carrie Williams, Carrie hit us up and said, always meet your heroes. It's always a 50-50 shot. They're going to be awesome or an asshole. Either way, you'll grow from the experience. And that was from the question, never meet your heroes or always meet your heroes. That's the question I put for the episode that week. Bounce back right quick. Next comment is on episode 521, Sex Dick. The question was, where did your state end up on Pornhub's analytics? Had to write Pornhub because I didn't know how Spotify was going to react to I said Pornhub. So just in case. So again, the homie Carrie, bro, the thought of that white lady saying sad beige baby made me cry laughing. My state, Mississippi, clocked as furries, but I'm side-eyeing the results, seeing this P-Hub blocked access in the state. Hey, well, there you go. Thanks for that, Carrie. And last one is from last week, Shoot the Kraken. No, week before last. So, you know what I mean. Episode 522, Shoot the Kraken. I asked, what was Buddy's punishment too much? That's the one where, old boy said his daughter was can't go to prom, can't have a car, can't go to homecoming because she racially bullied somebody out of the school. And again, Carrie responded, said, I don't think it was too much, but I do agree with the people who thought they should have a path of redemption for the kid. Fully agree with that. It is necessary punishments, but also, punishments is one thing, but we have to work toward being able to find forgiveness. And that dad did not have that in his heart at that point in time. But that was our little feedback for this week. Thanks, Carrie, for that.
Thank you.
Saying. And thank you for all listeners and the like, whoever. I guess I should check the email. Who knows? Maybe something popped up there. I think we in general check our direct line here, see if anybody jumped in. No, we have hold on. What is this? Oh, we have some spam. Or maybe spam. I don't know who this person is, but it's in the spam folder. So let's click on it and see what it is. It is spam. It says invoice at sign pound sign payment status, and then it has some numbers, and it says .txt, and none of these things are actually links or anything like that there, and it's no subject, so that definitely is spam. So we got spammed on that one. Oh yeah, that's hilarious, man. The internet streets, bro, they wow. But that is, of course, the 216's own Shunk Tatum.
Yep. I was here. I told some stuff, and I'll be back next week, hopefully.
Yep. That is also the 216's own. You know what I'm saying? I always like to repeat that to you. That is Lunchbox 2099.
I do not allow the 216 to claim ownership over me.
Nothing you do about it. It's just where you were. I mean, I guess you can bang with the 4 O's, but would you?
More likely the 3 O's.
Oh, where the massage parlors are located.
I plead the fifth.
Next week's newcomers is Batman Mask of the Phantasm, and I recently got a copy of that, a 4K copy of that. So I might have to go and watch that so I can be a little more prepared for that episode. So I guess down. Also, man, you said if you ever want to see, I mean, if it came with a digital code and it's on Movies Anywhere, you know what I'm saying? It's on my Movies Anywhere account if y'all want to see some of the movies I have. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Holla at your boy. You can say my password and enjoy my Movies Anywhere. That having been stated, I am the Internet State Row 713. You've just been podcast to. I know you loved it. We'll see you next week. Peace.
What happened to your ass? It used to be beautiful.